FM News Talk 97.1. On demand audio.
We all know how this thing is going to get settled.
How many guns do you own?
Not do you support Second Amendment rights, but how many do you personally own? I guess it's like when the Democrats are asked how many flags they've burned.
None.
5.
I think we have a front runner.
I may surprise y'all, but we just got a new gun safe for Christmas, and I think there are about 16 in there. Everything from pistols and a Glock to shotguns, rifles.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new Republican National Committee chairwoman. By the way, sad footnote about the gun safe that Ann Wagner got for Christmas. Unfortunately, the gentleman in the red suit who delivered it was mistaken for an intruder.
Oh, it was hysterical. I tell you what, I don't see how conservatives wouldn't like Ann Wagner. She drinks at her kitchen table and has over 16 guns, and she joins us by phone right now. And thanks so much to the FY, because I know you have a very busy schedule. You just landed, by the way.
I did. We're in beautiful Lexington, Kentucky, and we're a little late on the approach, so I appreciate your being flexible with us.
Of course. I thought that the debate went very well, and I have to say too, I appreciate the statements that you made, because you went further than any other candidate seated there at that debate in acknowledging the grassroots contribution and involvement in this massive victory that we had on November 2nd. And Michael Steele took credit for all of it, but you went further than anyone else in acknowledging that, and I thank you for that.
Well, it's the truth, and I always acknowledge the truth, and I am so pleased and gratified that I was able to make those comments, and I hope it's the beginning of what we need to do in 2012. It's a way to reach out. It's a way to say, hey, let's form some coalitions when we can. Let's sit down and talk. Let's listen. Let's talk about how it is we can get behind our conservative values, our conservative candidates, and conservative issues out there.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it was a very interesting debate, and I think after that, from all of the talk that I've seen on conservative blogs and on Twitter and everywhere else, you seem to pull away from that debate as being one of the front runners in all of this. And I think one of the fellow that's sort of going back and forth with you on that status is Reince Priebus, of whom I'm not a huge fan, simply because I just think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ann Wagner, I think that if you're going to be the RNC chair, you shouldn't probably have a presidential candidate already ready, raring to go in the barn.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I will tell you, the Reince Priebus, who is the chairman in Wisconsin, has the Barber team behind him from down in Mississippi. So that has raised some eyebrows. I certainly, in 2008, I was serving as a U.S. ambassador. I was prohibited from being involved in presidential or any kind of partisan politics at the time. So, I'm a good, honest broker. I'll be a good advocate for all of our nominees out there. I think that's very important in an RNC chief. But more importantly, Reince Priebus is part of the Steele machine. He is Michael Steele's general counsel and just stepped down from that position a short few weeks ago, and has been involved over what I called the mismanagement, the $20 million of debt, the distractions, the gaffes, the book deals, the expenses to strip clubs, you name it. He was a general counsel at the same time.
It seems as though there's this quasi-heir and a spare kind of strategy going on with both Steele and Priebus in this race. And then I would even go so far as to say with Sino as well, because Maria Sino and is the baggage that this woman has as far as being a Pfizer lobbyist and lobbying for the healthcare reform. I don't know how the RNC would be able to reconcile having someone like that as a chair. And I think that you are unique in that you can't, and I've told this to people before, you're not going to have a total Tea Party grassroots, completely outside the machine sort of person that's ever going to be able to take the RNC, because it's filled with establishment people. But out of all of them, and I think Solid News is to an extent, I think that you are sort of a hybrid. You're a very unusual candidate for this, Ann.
I am, and I have said I'm the perfect insider-outsider. Gets the grassroots, who was brought up and raised in the grassroots. I was a township committee woman for 9 years out in West St. Louis County, and I love to build coalitions. That's what I do. I like to take advice. I like to communicate with people. I like to sit down and and see how we can work things out and work together. I mean, that's very, very important when you're trying to build winning coalitions, and I have done that for all of my political life. I really believe, Dana, that the Republican National Committee needs to move in a new direction, new leadership, an entirely new team, and that is what I'm offering. I think I've got the skills set that's based in 20 years of experience to do the fundraising, the management. Obviously, I have the political savvy. I've won in a tough battleground state many, many times, and the communication skills, whether it's press, public, or just bringing coalitions together. All of that's going to be important, but we've got to turn the page. We have to restore the confidence of our major donors, of the members of our committee, and most importantly, of the public out there.
Absolutely, and you have the record to do it. Well, Ann Wagner, I appreciate you joining us. I know you have a very busy schedule. We'll let you go. Congratulations on a very nice debate. I thought you did good, and you got Jon Stewart's attention. So,
yeah, I told my sons who are in college. I received the Cool Mom Award from them last night. They were very, very psyched about my being on Jon Stewart. So.
Very cool. Well, congratulations, and we'll keep watching the progress of your race, and hopefully we'll see some good things to come. Ann Wagner, thanks so much.
Thank you, Dana.
Take care.